shirt sticker. What happened there? It's the quietest 30 seconds.
You can't handle the truth.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Wow, it's my first day here on Earth. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to call it June 10th. It's a Wednesday, 2026. Well, that's the government told me anyway, so they never lie to me. All right, guys. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I do want to talk about a few things going on. Trump said he's going to go back over there and lay some bombs down in the this and that areas and cool stuff like that. I was having a conversation with somebody today that I think we need to all take a little bit of a pullback for just a second. And I do see the greener grass where this is going to go. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys want to have a personal conversation with me about what I think is going to happen over there, I don't know if it's time to talk about it yet, but I will talk about it with you one-on-one. So if you want to get with me, say, hey, Jimmy, what were you talking about? I want to know, man. Tell me. I will tell you offline, but I do believe that things are going to be coming up roses. I like what I see. And we talk about disclosure of things, talk about people, the idea that what we're going to see the disclosure, things are going to happen, want the truth and all that. Well, that's where this is going. It's going to be so great. I'm going to love it. There has been a few bills going on. Now, I'm not sure about this part. There was a bill going through the process, and I'm not sure if it was thrown in as part of the Save America Act, but they're actually trying to say that in a new bill, in a new law that they're trying to create, says that Israel troops work with American troops and American troops work with Israel troops as if they're one and the same, and that we should just go ahead and we're just kind of blend them together. Anybody okay with that? You guys like that idea? Because I don't. Anyway, that is something that's out there. I'm not sure if it actually got through. It is something we should be paying attention to because it's not a part of what sovereign America should be thinking of as we go through things. Well, anyway, there are a lot of little things like that going on in the world around us. You got to be paying attention to the little nuances and what these people are really trying to do to us because it's not fair. They have stolen so much from us, and they have used our fear to be able to do that, manipulate us. I do have a special guest with me today. He's sitting there very patiently with his hands all interlaced and looking very presidential or something, whatever it is. Okay. Anyway, hey, Rick here. There he is. Oh, I finally seen the guy. Hey, what's up? Ricky, how are you, buddy?
Good, Jim. You look good. You look well.
I'm trying to keep on the top side of that green. I tell you, the green side seems to be better than the brown side of the grass. So
Yes, every day above forest lawn is a good day.
there you go. Hey, now, Rick, we have had you on several times before. We are friends outside of just this media space. But Rick, how have you been, sir? You been all right? How's Northern California treating you? Are you in Northern California, aren't you?
I'm right outside San Diego.
Oh, you're in San Diego. I thought you were north. I didn't realize you were south.
No,
I apologize.
San Diego. I'm actually in Alpine, but
Mhm.
that not many people would know that little city.
Right.
But it's San Diego, East County.
There you go.
I've been good. Things are going well. We've actually launched a new product, which I'm not going to start talking about it now.
I
But
got you.
it's a little one,
Yeah.
a liposomal.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's really doing well.
Yeah.
And so that's been my main focus is to call our prospects that in the past maybe said, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Then we call them and say, let me give you a new idea.
Right. Right. Now, what's that? Well, all right. So let's get back to you for a second. You and I have met through mutual acquaintances through an apricot seed distributor. So we met through a gentleman, and we have been able to be friends for quite a while after that. But your story didn't really start with apricot seeds. Your story started as just a young man trying to figure it out, and you decided to do something a little different, which then led you to Lateral B17, right? So, hey, B17. So the B vitamin is like B1, B2, B3, B4, B9. I'm just kidding. 5, there's all these different Bs. I don't know if people know that, right? There's different B vitamins, like there's B12, which is methylated B12 is really great for nervous regulation and stuff like that. But B17, is B17 in a B vitamin? Is that what we're talking about?
It's not a B vitamin.
Oh, okay.
People named it that in early 1900.
Right.
But as you pointed out, B12, if B17, the laetrile amygdalin molecule,
Mm-hmm.
comes into contact with a good cell, not a cancer cell, it can be converted to B12, which is a necessary nutrient for us.
Right.
So it can actually feed the body. Our government has latched onto the microbial amount of cyanide within B17 molecule that when exposed to a cancer cell, gets beta glucosidase dumped all over it.
Right.
It will release that little bit of cyanide and poison the cell. But the good cell right next door to it won't be affected like with many chemotherapies.
But wait. Cyanide is actually a part of the human function, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in about 150 foods. But if it's exposed to a cancer cell that's expressed beta glucosidase enzyme,
Yeah.
it will let that cyanide molecule get them
So
and go after.
wait. They said I thought they said it was supposed to kill us, not cancer. So now they're telling us that cyanide kills cancer, but not. Which one is it, Rick? I mean, because they keep telling us that cyanide is bad, right? We don't eat apple seeds because there's cyanide in it, right? Now they're telling us
right.
this B17 has cyanide, but yet the cyanide kills the bad cell, not the good cell. And yet, Rick? Are these people lying to me again? Is this what the government, are we here for? Is this the cyanide is actually part of the process of the body, and then it actually
You'd have to take a massive amount of cyanide to kill a human.
right.
Give you an example. These are the vials I took daily, 6 grams.
Wow. Of cyanide?
And I never even got a headache. I didn't throw up. I didn't run to the bathroom, nothing.
No bleeding from the eyes or the ears or the nose or.
The only thing that happened to me was I got off morphine.
Yeah.
My color came back and I started to get hungry again.
Well, that sounds
That's
horrible.
how toxic that was. Yeah.
That sounds horrible. I can't believe they just let that happen to you. So, okay, but let's for those that don't know your story too well, when was it your diagnosis or whenever it was they made you aware of something going wrong in your body? When was that for you? What year was that for you?
1974. And if you think I'm ugly now,
Oh. Well, over this,
1974.
yeah. I don't know. Put that back up there. We got to see that guy. You got to get it centered here. You weren't quite centered on the camera there. So let's over to your right a little more. There we go. Perfect, right there. What's that? What's that tube in your nose? What are you just?
That's a gastric thing leading to my stomach.
You're just trying to be cool or something? You're putting tubes.
Yeah,
in
I thought I got the Fonzie hairdo down
there.
there.
You go. Yeah, a little coiffed out the side.
And I
there.
got the 3-day beard.
Yeah, good
You
job.
know,
Yeah.
I'm handling things,
There you
but
go.
8 hours of surgery took it out of me.
Now that's when they went from head to toe and took a lot of your daisy chain of lymph nodes out of you, right? Which is really not a good thing.
No, I had a massage therapist one time go like this after he put his hands on me, and I said, "Any problem?" He says, "Well, I'm a real sensitive," and who knows? I don't know. But he said, You don't have much of an immune system anymore, or what is going on here? I can't get a read on you." I said, "Well, I had hundreds of lymph nodes removed. Look at the scar. Got a scar about that long.
Ugh.
And he went, well, good luck staying well, pal. I said, well, so far I have, but
Jeez.
my legs are, as you know,
Yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
my legs are swelling these days when they didn't 10 years ago, but that's got more to do with the amount of lymph nodes that were removed from me than
Yeah.
daily abuse of my body and diet.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one of the things that I've realized, that how much, like everybody, the ladies worry about the neighbor waivers, right? They're like, oh, I got the neighbor waiver. Let me get in the camera here. This old neighbor waiver thing. Well, it's actually the group of lymph nodes that actually comes out of the armpit and goes here and then goes right underneath the arm. And then that's where all this fluid builds up in the back of the arm. So women have got to start figuring out how to massage that fluid back in, because the lymphatic system is not a pump. It is a passive tube system that literally you have to move to get it to move around. And now
People that don't walk or have a rebounder or some way will struggle. When I'm 75, so most people my age have huge legs,
Yep.
arthritic arms, legs, knees,
Yes.
etc. And I've never had a lot of that stuff, but I am admitting that I have had lately, in the last 5 years, as you saw, some lymphedema, but just in one leg. I have trouble explaining that.
Well, and again, you never know that some of those tubules and some of those things may still be attached or maybe slightly working. And maybe on the one side they didn't take as much as they took of the other. That'd be about the only thing. So, or you lay on one side of your body at night more than the other.
Both are true.
There you go. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So Rick, we're talking about B17. We're talking about all these lateral things. We're talking about you and a diagnosis. Why don't you spill into the story? You got a book, right? There's a book and there's some.
I wrote a book just to irritate the federales. It's called Too Young to Die. There it is right there.
Right.
And that's available. If they want to go to b17works.com and fill out a little teeny tiny questionnaire. Oh, yeah, that looks familiar. Fill out a little questionnaire. I'll send them a PDF of that, which is an electronic copy of it.
There you go.
Or they can log on to Amazon, or they can log on to rncstore.com and buy it. But I've sold about 100,000 copy books, and I'm not an intellectual. Jim will testify.
You're a great conversationalist. How about that?
I was pushed forward in school every year because I made the teachers laugh. But other than that, I have a note that says, Dear Mrs. Hill, it would be a travesty to give Ricky the grades he's actually earned.
Ooh.
Follow that one around. But I told her she was beautiful, and I told her she was magnetic, and I got shoved ahead the next year. So,
There you go.
whatever.
Yeah.
But by the time I got to be 24 years old, I ran out of gas.
Uh-oh.
Everything caught up with me. The drinking on weekends, McDonald's 3 times a week. Yeah. And I, 24 years old, wound up with what is equal to stage 4 cancer. Stage 3 high grade embryonal cell carcinoma is as high as it goes.
Right.
And, the Mayo Clinic pretty much signaled to me when I went in there. I had my last appointment prior to starting chemo, and I said, some idiot pastor has told me to go to Tijuana, Mexico for apricot cures.
Right.
I said, and I laughed out loud. I said, this guy is losing it. My chemotherapist sat back in a chair, did one of these, looked up at the ceiling and said, well, Rick, it is warm in Tijuana this time of year. And I went, okay, message delivered. I'll probably never see you again.
Right.
Thank you for your honesty. And I went home and told my family that. And that's when I learned new swear words,
Uh-oh.
even though I grew up in Detroit. because my family was not understanding.
Mm.
They said, you're at the citadel of modern medicine. You got great insurance. They can't help it if you're stupid. And I said, well,
God dang.
you know, I just don't think I'm going to live long there. I'm down to 120 pounds and I'm chatting with the pink elephant every day
Right.
now, thanks to morphine.
Right, right.
I think if I stay here, I'm goner. I'm a goner. And no, no, you're not. You got the Mayo Clinic in your hip pocket. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And I left 2 days later. And I'm a Detroit greaser. You saw the hairdo.
Right.
I had a 57 Ford, Hearst floor shift, blonde girlfriend, the whole thing. And I went down there and they're a bunch of tree huggers, people that I wouldn't even talk to
Right.
in my former life. And I went to a health food store, Ravi Shankar music playing. I'm the only one there wearing underwear. I mean,
Uh-oh.
this is not my crowd.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
That's it. But hey, what came of all of that ego shedding that happened there? What happened down there?
I wanted to live.
There you go. Absolutely.
Dr. Contreras said to me, look, Rick, this is participatory medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That means if you don't want to help me, we will fail and you will die.
Yep.
Can I say this any more clearly? I said, it's quite clear.
Yeah.
He said, if you don't want to help me, take your money and go home because it won't work. If you keep eating and drinking what you've been eating and drinking, it will kill you. And the fact that you've got a germ cell cancer, which means that you're also pregnant. Did you know that? I said, yeah, the Mayo Clinic doctor told me I had high levels of human chorionic gonadotropin, which pregnant women are. Get that.
Nice.
That
Okay.
is not odd in the world of cancer. Have you ever seen this?
What's
You
that?
get it? One Answer to Cancer by William Donald Kelly.
I haven't seen that one.
All right. That's the first book I ever read on the subject. And he says, for example, people don't understand this, that there are 3 laws of cancer. I photocopied a couple pages. The four laws.
Right.
These three laws. The presence of an ectopic germ cell. All right, that's what I had. The stimulating presence of female sex hormones. Now, that doesn't mean that I was a little light in the loafers.
Right.
It means that I inherited from my mother too much of the female sex hormone.
Mm.
And here's one I want to pull over and park on if you're willing.
Yes.
A deficiency of active pancreatic enzymes. Of the laws, there are only 3. And you see the last one, a deficiency of pancreatic enzymes. Now, when I was down there in Tijuana, they gave me massive amounts of these proenzymes, which is chymotrypsin and trypsin. They gave me so much, in fact, that they did it with a retention enema. Now, I don't want to go into the mechanics of this. It's just I'd walk into the room and the nurse would say, bend over. And I would bend over. And she would put a rather what I thought lengthy 1/4-inch hose lubed up. And then she had a syringe about that long, all full of that pancreatic enzymes. And then she would go like this. And I would go. And she would say, hold 20 minutos.
Nice.
Is that 20 minutes you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
See. And I would then walk out of there like, with baby steps.
Duck walk. Duck walking, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Pancreatic enzymes. And so I'm going to make a statement and move on.
Yes.
If you said to me, if you could only take one thing ever,
Right.
that's it right there. Because even Dr. Soon, the one that Tucker interviewed recently, said cancer cells cover up with protein to hide.
Yeah.
Pancreatic enzymes dissolve protein, as you know.
Mhm.
I eat those on an empty stomach twice a day. You heard my alarm go off.
Right.
Why? Because on an empty stomach, leaves my stomach, goes into the blood, and it looks for protein to digest. And where does it find it? On the surface of cancer cells. And then my immune system, the killer cells, come along and go, look over there.
That's it.
Look over there. Let's get them. Prior to that, they just cruise on by, not even seeing them or sensing them, of course.
Right.
So this doctor said of the 3 reasons people get cancer, it's not a deficiency of B17, as most of our brethren say. It is a deficiency of pancreatic enzymes. And that was written in 1967.
Wow.
Hello.
But that's also the same time we eradicated bovine cancer. Is that right?
In 67?
And when we quote unquote eradicated bovine cancer was shortly after that, somewhere in the 70 to 71 range.
So that would mean probably they figured out some way to use, because bovine pancreatic enzymes, chymotrypsin, can be used in this product.
Ow! So what? So they probably figured it out, and it will work in other animals as well, which they all have very similar organs. But they figured out if we do this with the bovine, then they don't have cancer anymore. We don't have to worry about the bovine industry. We don't have to worry about that because, hey, we make money on cattle, right? But we don't make money on healing you. We make money on keeping humans sick. We make money on keeping animals healthy. So it's always about
we're more concerned about the cow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what they do in India, but more concerned about the cow than they are the people that would benefit from using their trypsin to avoid cancer, to never get it.
There you go. Yep. And I take the pro enzyme. I take that pro pack, the 3 or whatever with the pro enzyme.
Good for you.
Yeah. I take that. I take it just because I just think we should. I think it's like a part of the process of just almost like a daily, just kind of keeping the tune up, right? Just kind of making sure everything's working in the right way and all that good stuff. Hey, real quick, we talked about your book here. Where can we find that book at? Is it still available?
Yeah, I'll give them a free copy, an electronic copy, if they want to go to www.b17works.com with an S. B like boy, 17, WORKS.
Right.
Not easy for me to say with a lisp.
Yeah.
.com. And I'll see that, and I will send them a couple of free books. I'll send them 3 chapters out of this baby hunker. Look how thick that is.
Wow.
300 pages. But I'm only going to send you chapters 5, 6, and 7.
Right. So,
but they can buy the whole book at rncstore.com.
Absolutely. And we should, guys. Look, a lot of this stuff is really, it's not so much whether you have it or you think whatever you think is going on in your body. The idea that you have that knowledge base, that maybe someone's going to come up to you and they're going to say something, you're like, whoa, I know about that. Let me say that. Let me tell you, hey, let me go. Here's this book. I read it in here. Go to that. So many times we think we have to buy a book only because that's when we buy it because we're dealing with it. I buy this, it's like, no, buy Rick's book because Rick's book is motivating. There's more to it than just the idea of what B17 is. It's more to that. So we ought to be out there encouraging each other and all those kind of things. But and Rick, you're talking about, is there an archive of information coming out through rncstore.com? Aren't they putting together an archive?
Yeah, they made a deal with Frank Cousineau of the Cancer Control Society.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, before Frank passed away not long ago.
Right.
And the archives where he and his partner Lorraine had the biggest single collection of alternative healing books, pamphlets, videos of anywhere probably in the planet. And they were storing them in these big metal containers, like a 40-footer,
mm-hmm.
And they'd been in there so long that the rats had figured out how to get in, et cetera, and a little bit of rain is a little musty. but they've since tried to clean up all they could. And I mean, there's a significant part of the warehouse in Scottsdale that Richardson has that is still unpacked from this archive.
Yeah.
And I found books of mine in there. I found articles about me that I didn't know existed in there.
Wow.
And Frank found, I'm not Frank, John Richardson found a lot of articles about his father,
Mm.
Dr. John Richardson, that guy.
Right.
Yep, there it is, Dr. John A. Richardson, MD, who, well, he says he had 63 people in that book alone that got over terminal cancer. Then the federales came, as they do,
Right.
guns drawn, put him in jail with his nurse. Well, at least he had company.
Yeah.
With his nurse. And then they terminated his medical license. This man borrowed money to go to med school.
Right.
Now he's without income. And John Richardson Jr., your friend and my friend,
Yes.
experienced all that. Getting, I mean, can you imagine going to school and hey, we saw it on the front page of the paper. So your daddy's in prison, right, John? You know, oh, gee. What an ordeal to go through as a kid.
Yes.
And I guess he's a quack. Do we have that, buddy? Hey, do we have that right? He's a quack.
Yeah. You imagine kids. That's probably gotta be cruel, right?
Yep. And that's because he was helping people. There's a young girl in here, 13 years old, went to Dr. Richardson. They were gonna Kaiser Permanente was gonna remove that arm because they had so much cancer. He said, don't do it. Let me put you on these therapeutic supplements.
Mm-hmm.
He did. She got well, and she phoned John Jr., people we know,
Yes.
and said, guess who this is? And then she showed up at a meeting with his father before he passed and gave him a hug at a wedding, both arms. Yeah, both of them in tears.
Jeez.
So there's, you don't hear the really good stories.
No. Why? And that's such a human thing to do, right? We all complain about that very statement that we don't like that we all tell these negative stories, but sure, it does seem to be the habit, right? That the bad stories get spread around, but we don't hear about the victories so often. The agony of defeat
travels fast.
Yeah. Was it the agony? Remember the ABC, the sports, world of sports, whatever?
The thrill of victory.
Yeah. The agony of defeat. I guess that guy, the guy that was in the skier, he actually lived. They did an interview with him long after that he was a part of that intro where the downhill skier that fell and did all that tumbling and all that. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, the agony of defeat. But why do we? I mean, we need to. How about Rick? You and I will do a thing. We're going to say, hey, no more. We're going to only talk good, right? It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, right. We'd have to be hypnotized.
I'm in the wrong industry because I got to tell you guys about all the stupid things our government's doing to us all the time. It's like, and that's really what. I mean, that's why we're kind of talking, even why John was so motivated in getting involved with the RNC. By the way, guys, here's your RNC store stuff. This is I got my apricot seeds here, bitter raw. John got so vindicated or upset about it because the government came in and touched him in a way where he saw that he saw something that people didn't know happened in America, where people were being drug out of their homes and drug out of their livelihoods for what we consider to be just somebody's public opinion that now it becomes gospel. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, we do a lot of things in the government have nothing to do with the facts of science, but yet we will say that the government is fact-based.
Well,
right?
this is food.
Yeah.
That's why they call it a food supplement, which cannot be patented.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't charge $250,000
Right.
for a month of this like you can with chemo
Right.
or radiation. So it isn't ingrown toenails that keep hospitals open.
That is very true.
It is the cancer metabolic industry, things that need strong and expensive chemicals. But if you get the real stats from it, it's probably around 6 to 10% ever reach 5 years that have all those chemicals.
Right.
But the hospital stayed open, the docs got rich, life goes on, but the poor schleps that took the stuff, now some of them survive, you know, collateral damage didn't take them out,
Right.
but the majority don't.
What is?
And
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah,
Well,
no,
I was going to think about all these people who went out and went out and did the government recommendation about 4 years ago. The turbo cancers and things that are coming out of that, are these things that the B-17 is going to be able to be a part? And I'm not trying to say B-17 is invincible. It's like the best thing ever, always, always. But the sad part of it is when they're making up things in vials and putting it into bodies, is B-17 able to do that with the turbo cancers from the shot? Is it able to do the same type of work? Because it's a different, so this is not just like it's like, oh, cancer happened, right? And B-17 can come in and do something. But this is something that we made up and then created in the body that's not, quote unquote, natural. Does that make sense?
yeah, when I was working, not with John, but with a different person, that person told me if I didn't get the vaccine that I could no longer work there. So I called Dr. Contreras at the Oasis of Hope Hospital, Tijuana, where I went. And I told him the sad story, and he said, then sell pencils on the corner. Under no circumstances, take that shot. And I said, don't hold back, Doc. I want you to tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
He said, you can't believe the numbers of people that I had in remission 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or like you, 45 years at that time.
Yeah.
And he said, now they're relapsing. And of course, when the cancer comes back, it's modified. And it is harder to treat. But we are mounting a lethal fight against them, and people are getting well again.
Right.
But he said the number of cases, give you an example, prostate cancer.
Right.
Old man's disease, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, doctors would, a guy'd come in 78, 80 years old. You know, I got to get up twice a night now. And the doctor says, yeah, I know what's going on. But you know, even if it's cancerous, you'll be gone long before that spreads because it's so slow growing. Don't worry about it. Just, you know, get up twice a night and shut up.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you, I've had 700 calls and questionnaires filled out for B-17 works. 700.
Wow.
Probably 40% of those are prostate cancer from guys that are under 50 years old. And it's not slow growing anymore. No, these guys have it, multiple metastases spreading to their bones, spreading to their, I'm not trying to use scare tactics. I'm saying this disease, since we had those vaccines, has modified itself into what they call turbo cancer. That's my sophisticated term for it.
Right.
Actually, it's not mine. I picked it up and stole it. But my point is, it's a new game.
Yeah.
Since that happened. And guys, I mean, it's just young guy, 25-year-olds like me when I got cancer, 24. But my kind of cancer, I just saw a hand. Just a hand.
No, it's just me. It's just me.
Yeah, holy cow, we're at the Addams family right here.
Yeah. We don't be paying attention to the screen. You keep paying attention to your interview over there. I'm getting salt over here, so.
I know you're always eating that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see it.
Come on.
I'll testify. I've seen you do it in person. So that was so cool. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the person behind the curtain, sir. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see. There's nobody behind there.
Yep.
Anyway.
So I've learned on my own that Dr. Contreras was not exaggerating, that it's a different world we're in now with new challenges.
Yeah.
And you and I'm a generation older than you, but I had my entire life maybe 5 or 6 vaccines.
Right.
My grandkids have been offered 60
Right.
within the first 2 years of their birth.
Hey, what's the
6,
first thing they ask you in the emergency room? Have you had your tetanus?
imagine.
Tetanus is a sterility drug. Do you know that? It just makes you
I
sterile. That's what it does.
Well,
Tetanus doesn't do
that's a
anything but
Bill
make you.
Gates wet dream right there.
I'm telling you guys right
Sterile.
now, it's all it does makes you sterile. And they give it to children. They want to give it to newborns. Why do they want to give sterility drugs to newborns? Tetanus. That's what it does. It turns your ability to reproduce off for 6 months to a lifetime. Just like the GLP-1, the Gila Monster shot, the number one side effect is blindness. Listen to me. The number one side effect is blindness, never retrieving your eyesight again. You never see again. Or just put some salt in your mouth and quit putting so much food in it. Anyway.
Well, I've got a relative that took the tetanus booster thing. Or no, not tetanus, but what's the one where you get all the scabs all over you?
Shingles.
Shingles.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Rick, you're getting on to 75 here. You better have a shingles thing because grandma had it and your brother Sam had it. And so I said, Roger, I'm not, no, absolutely freaking not.
HCQ.
I'm not taking it. Yeah.
He hydroxychloroquine will lower the virus load in your body so you don't have to have the symptoms of shingles. HCQ,
Perfect.
hydroxychloroquine, that lowers the virus in your body so you don't get cold sores and you don't get the shingles.
By the way, Jim is our resident,
You can say
what do you call it? LPN.
Licensed practicing. No, I'm LPI, licensing practicing idiot. I know nothing. I know nothing. I see nothing. I have no experience. Yeah. But you know why, Rick? You know why I had to? Because the doctors and the authorities who kept telling me that, hey, do this, do that, I wasn't getting better. And it's like, I walked around for 6 months with walking pneumonia, and they the things that doctors were doing were not healing me. I wasn't getting better. My gut was bad. My digestive system was ruined. I mean, I was bad. But so then I had to go out and find these answers, and I kept going to be like, hey, I got this issue. Take this pill. What does that do? Well, you go blind, but that'll stop doing the other thing. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. So when I started down the idea of getting my body healthy, it was probiotics, tart cherry, Lugol's iodine. These are the primaries for me. Now I've gotten into the DMSO of things, and it's like if there's anything I can tell you guys to take, DMSO, Lugol's iodine, and castor oil. Put me on an island.
All three. Because I hung around with you.
And that's all I want. That's it.
And Lugol's is the one I bought.
Perfect. Absolutely. But I had to do that because, and here's the thing, Rick, the more that I learn about the BH4 pathway that has the cytostorm that creates certain autistic strains and different things like that, I know about that, but I talk to doctors who are autistic doctors who don't even know anything about BH4 pathway. And I'm talking to John about it and telling him what he can do with his son and other things like that. But I learn these things because I keep going to doctors and there's no answers there. And what do you do? Why are you here? Like, what can I do to make this better? Oh, I don't know. Give an antibiotic, I guess. Like, no. How about oregano? Take oregano. Olive oregano. That's better than any antibiotic you'll ever take in your entire life.
I got it.
It's like,
I mean, I'm on my third doctor, General MD, because when they find out who I am and what I've done, they go, "We're done here."
Right.
I'm been dropped by 3 doctors in the last 4 years.
Jeez.
And I've had to log back in and find another one. The most recent one was real recent. I went in because I wrestled in college. Not well, but I wrestled. Now that I'm a little older, my shoulders were starting to hurt and all that kind of. So I went in, the doctor, you need this x-rayed. I said, I really don't like x-rays, but he said, if it's torn, we got to repair it. I said, all right. So they did one x-ray, Came back. He said, yes, it's torn. I'll show you the picture. And he schedules the surgery. So I come in 6 months later for an annual, and he's looking through my thing, and he goes, when did you get the surgery on your shoulders? Oh, that. I said, I didn't. Well, I ordered it. And I'm thinking, you're talking to the wrong guy when you say that.
Right.
I said, yeah, well, here's what I did. A buddy of mine, first name is Jim, told me about DMSO, and I put a little frankincense under it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the DMSO going, and I used that for about 90 days. There it is.
Ta-da!
Doing this? Yeah. You see the grimace on my face?
Oh, I love you, Ricky. You're the best.
And I did that in his office, and he went, yeah, no, I'm quoting. Yeah, and some people think if they eat apricot seeds, they're going to get over cancer. And I said, that's not in my chart.
It's in my
He says
book.
to me, why should it be? I said, because I'm one of the early pioneers in that movement. That's how I got well. And he went like this, we're done here.
No way.
He walked out of the clinic, out of that room, slammed the door. And I went home and found a different doctor. It happens to me.
Wow. That is breathtaking, because that tells you right there that the programming of whatever was in the back of his head took over in that moment of his logic base and said, we're done here. Like you could, like, the fear of you. I mean, seriously. Oh, the other thing I would have told you, if you're having that joint pain or arthritic pain in your hands or in your arms, just put a nicotine patch on it. If you're having arthritic pains, nicotine will, as a natural.
Have you had
painkiller.
Dr. Artis on?
Oh, yeah. I've had it on
Okay.
quite a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got.
What?
Well, I mean, the classic story, here's a Mayo Clinic letter. It's in my book, so I'm not going to read it.
Ah.
That's a letter from the Mayo Clinic saying, yeah, I'm not lying, that I really had what I say I've had. And I went back to the Mayo Clinic to see my surgeon 2.5 years after my visit to Oasis of Hope. And lo and behold, I walk through his door and he goes like this, looking at me. He goes, because I didn't look like the same person when I was there. And he goes like this, holds his hand up. And I stopped walking toward his desk. He said, I just want you to know that whatever you did in Tijuana, Mexico, if the anger was dripping.
Right.
Could have had nothing to do with this apparent recovery you've had. I stopped and I looked at him and I said, Doc, you look like a bright guy. But looks can be deceiving, can't they? And he looked at me like a little twerp. Yeah. And I said, see, here's what I know about you. If you were a real healer, you would say, crying in a bucket, look at you. Now, I can't see how you did this in TJ, but sit down in that chair. You got 15 minutes and I'll take notes. And I promise I'll look at it. I would have put my butt in that chair and said, here's the story. But instead, being me, I said, we're done here. The ultimate. And I walked out and slammed the door. So, it's such a 3-ring circus out there. That means that he was selling drugs, not repair.
Right. Well, because you go and you look up how much money they're making on the pharmaceuticals on the backside. That's a whole nother secondary income for these doctors. And everybody's like, oh, I feel, oh, he's working so hard, this and that. But when you start seeing that I'm only offering you this oil treatment because I make $12 a can off of it and it does nothing for you, well, then you start realizing I was just making $12 a can on you. I didn't care about, I was just getting that $12. And that's the sad part of it is, and that's the other thing too. I think if we honestly, one of the biggest things would be, one, get rid of the liability shield from all pharmaceuticals. But
that tells you everything.
And get rid of the advertising on public advertising for pharmaceuticals. Those two things right there.
Big difference.
All that would drop off. All that would drop off. We would not see what we see in our public medical system. And now this is when we were talking about earlier, and that I'm kind of that guy. No, I play a doctor on TV. I'm not one in real life, but I will tell you right now, the sad part of it is I go up to conversations with real doctors, with these MDs who say there's somebody, not artists. He's completely a different guy altogether. But they don't understand anything I'm talking about. And they'll try to give me, it's like, well, the sona do's. And I'm like, oh, wait, you're trying to do some chemistry class on me here. I'm talking about the function of the body. What does this do? What does this need? How does the body work here? What does this do to this, to this, to this, to this? And it's like, and they don't have any of those answers. And a lot of the stuff that I've done, like you with salt or the castor oil or the cayenne pepper and those things like that, these are all things that do cascading things through the body, and they only benefit. I tell, it's like, I like that my education of this is that cayenne pepper is probably one of the most universal herbs that does everything from erectile dysfunction to heart attack repair. If you have damaged muscle in your heart, take cayenne pepper pills, and your heart will recover fully. And they know that. That's the number one function for heart attacks. Is the first thing is cayenne pepper. But they don't. They skip right over to all the other, what's those ones they do with the heart regulation pills and the different things, and trying to, here, take this pill and a blood thinner and a this and a that, and all of a sudden next thing you're on 12 different medications when you could have just taken cayenne pepper for $12 a month.
All right. I'm not saying I have ED, okay? Not saying that at all. I'm just saying
you did say you were 102,
did.
so you did say you were 102, so I'm going to give you look great for 102, by the way. You're doing good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice. How much cayenne pepper would you take if I had this?
Just the 40,000 units. It's just 2 capsules of cayenne pepper. Solgar has a brand called Cool Cayenne. There's a 40,000 unit and there's a 100,000 unit. Just 40,000 unit. Take it. I take it with dinner at night, and that way it passes in the morning, so you don't have that in the middle of the day surprise. And then so that way, just take it at night with dinner. And I'm
just
telling
one.
you, no, it'll be 2 capsules is the dose. Yeah. But Solgar has a brand.
I'm only writing this down so I can help other people.
Oh, yeah, definitely for research purposes only.
That's who I am. That's the kind of guy you got here.
But see, here's the thing. For women, it does the same thing.
Wow. All right. I got somebody in the next room. I'm going to sneak it. These will make you taller.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the sad part of it, is that cayenne pepper, what it does is it balances all the different hormones in the body. It's really good about keeping you in a balanced state, so then your body doesn't have highs and lows, which causes the different effects of not wanting to do certain things and not having certain blood flow. Glyphosate is the reason that you don't have blood flow to the pelvis, which causes women to have endometriosis, all the different kinds of bad pap smears. So you start increasing the blood flow of the pelvis. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to get rid of bad things if you have better blood flow. Well, what is everything that we do around that area is really just all blood flow, right? Everything's a blood flow. So we get more blood flowing down there. We get more of the toxicity out of there. We get more function going. Now all of a sudden we are a better human being. And that is all it really is. It's not an amplifier. It just gives you what you already had. It just works with it. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that funny? I never see on Facebook, you get, Elon Musk, which isn't him, it's AI, saying, if you want,
right.
but you'd have to be a cretin not to go, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never that. It's always some strange. We found an herb on the shores of the Gitche Gumi. Yeah. And when we harvested at midnight with stainless steel tongs while yodeling,
right,
and we sell it to you, I mean, it was $10,000 an ounce when we got it, but we're willing for 6 bottles. Oh man, I get halfway through that and I go, click.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the sad part of it, is and really there's so many simple herbs and things that are really, really great for us, and it makes us so much better. But We don't even give them a chance anymore. Well, Rick, I got to get you out of here. I got to close out the show. How do we get a hold of you one more time? rncstore.com, and what's the one for you?
rncstore.com, and if they want my opinion on something,
Yes.
yeah, and they're going, why would anybody, after listening to this, want your opinion? Go to www.b17works with an S.com. Fill out that little one pager there, take you 30 seconds. I will see it, and I call 90% of the people unless they say, look, just send me a document. Okay, pal, don't be calling me.
Don't be calling me. Don't do good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick. Well, that's good stuff, man. It's good seeing you, partner. Appreciate you being here.
I'm glad you're well, Jim.
I am on this side. I'm doing better. You know, guys, listen, it's sometimes you need a little slap in the forehead, right? And
I got one.
Yeah, you got one. I got one. We're doing all right. So everything
Hey, appreciate you.
Everything else is up from here, right? We're doing great.
That's right.
All right, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right, what a great interview that was with Rick. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Great comments out there. Good to see you guys, everybody out there chatting it up. I was not able to catch very many of the comments. I guess I wasn't quite paying attention to some of them. So good to see everybody out there. Thank you so much for all the support. By the way, if you go to rncstore.com, rncstore.com, promo code price, I will get credit for whatever purchases that go out there. If not, let me know if it's an inactive or whatever. I'll try to make sure that that is still good. But if you go to get your apricot seeds or your B17 Pro enzymes and stuff like that, you can get those there. Get those ordered, but get in and say promo code price, and that will help out. All right, guys, it's good seeing everybody out there. Good things. I am excited about so many things going on. Looks like the UFC fight is going to continue on this weekend in the White House lawn, as well as Travis Pastrana is going to be doing some backflips with 4 other guys. So it's going to be pretty kind of a cool, spectacular thing. Good seeing you guys. Really is. We got one more interview tomorrow, and then Friday you'll have me all by myself. So one more interview, and we'll keep going from there, guys. It's great seeing you. I am so appreciative of the things that are going on. Do not forget to be positive and look outward and say, what can I do for the world around me? That's really where this whole thing takes on a new meaning. All right, guys, remember 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We'll win. I promise to make promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember, the Constitution always limits the government, but never limits you. That's your power. You have the authority. Do not give your authority to anybody else. It does not belong to them. That's how it works. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys will be good to each other out there, and I